All right, let's talk about something huge. What happens when the very foundation of our society, trust, just crumbles? And I'm not just talking about a few small cracks here and there. We're talking about a massive, systemic failure. So today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical idea for how to architect a brand new foundation of trust, right from the ground up.
I mean, it's a question that feels more and more relevant every single day, right? You see it everywhere you look. In those big corporate pledges, in our global supply chains, in the way our governments work, there's just this massive gaping chasm between what we're told is happening and what's actually happening.
And this right here, this shows that disconnect perfectly. On one side, you've got the pretty picture, right? The promises they make in those glossy ESG reports and marketing campaigns. But on the other side, well, that's the messy reality. We're talking about greenwashing, hidden costs they don't want you to see, and straight-up audit fraud. This is the trust deficit. We're literally trying to build our future on a foundation that is fundamentally broken.
So, what's the fix? Well, what if the solution isn't just another app or some new tech platform? The source material we're digging into today proposes something way more fundamental. It's an entirely new kind of architectural foundation called social Helix, and its whole purpose is to create what it calls a Commons of Neutrality.
Okay, so here's the absolute crucial point. Social Helix is designed to be a completely neutral verifier. Think of it like a constitutional core for all of our systems. It has only a few jobs: audit what happens, confirm the truth, and then protect the integrity of the entire network. That's it.
And I absolutely love this quote because it cuts right to the heart of the whole idea. It's not a platform, it's not a service, it's not something you use. It's the thing that holds everything else together. It's like a shared, protected space for truth itself, and it's secured by cryptography, by pure math, not by a corporation's promises, which, let's be honest, we've seen get broken time and time again.
So how does this thing actually work? Well, the architecture is designed to act like an immune system, with these really specific features that are always on the lookout for threats, always trying to maintain the health of the system. Let's break down its key parts.
All right, first up is something called the Green Field Detection Network, and you can think of this as the system's scout. It's not just passively recording data, no. It's actively scanning for patterns across the whole network. It's looking for gaps, for untapped opportunities, places where real value could be created but isn't. And when it finds them, it signals these green fields back to everyone so that great ideas and resources don't just get lost in all the noise.
Next, you have the Audit and Proof Ledger. This is the system's memory, and it's a memory that can't be changed, ever. Every single action is recorded here, locked in time and space. This gives us a single source of what's called cryptographic truth, which just means it's verifiable through math, not by taking someone's word for it. This completely replaces all that unreliable self-reporting for everybody, from the big regulators all the way down to local community members.
And this brings us to the defense mechanism itself, the immune system in action. The system is actively hunting for anomalies, for any sign of corruption. And if it finds something sketchy, it can automatically freeze those suspect activities. But here's the crucial part. Even those defensive actions are completely transparent and auditable. It's a system designed from the ground up to self-heal and to resist being captured or controlled by any single group.
So when you put all of that together, what's the outcome? It's not just about having better data. It's something the source calls civilizational resilience. And what that really means is building a foundation that's strong enough to withstand any kind of attack, whether it's legal, technical, or economic, so that our most critical systems can finally evolve without constantly breaking.
Okay, but this raises a huge question. Who's in control? And this is absolutely crucial. Social Helix is set up as a nonprofit. It's governed by a council of stewards, not by shareholders who are just looking for profit. Its funding is automated too. A tiny little fee is taken from all the network activity to keep it running, which makes it totally independent of donations or commercial pressure. And finally, it holds an architectural veto, basically the power to stop any action that violates the system's core constitution. So you see, neutrality isn't just a promise here. It's literally coded into its DNA.
Okay, so we've seen the how. Now let's get to the so what. I mean, what does having a layer of verifiable truth actually mean for the real people and institutions who have to interact with it?
Well, the value proposition here is incredibly clear. For regulators, it means no more waiting around for audits. They get real-time, verified data instantly. For partners building on this, it means trust is basically plug and play, which dramatically slashes their costs. And for communities, it gives them the ultimate tool, the ability to independently verify claims and actually hold power accountable.
And really, that's the bottom line. It's all about creating that stable, reliable ground layer, a true foundation of trust that lets all the other complex, vital systems we depend on, everything from our supply chains to carbon markets, to finally coordinate safely and effectively.
And this brings us to the real philosophical core of this entire project. Why does this have to be a nonprofit commons? I mean, why can't a company just build this and sell it? The answer gets to the very nature of trust itself.
And let's be crystal clear. This is not about building another blockchain or some new piece of tech. The ambition here is to architect the ledger for our entire planetary completion. And for a system that important to actually work, it has to belong to everyone, period. Why? Well, because the moment you introduce a profit motive, you introduce a conflict of interest. It's that simple. As the source puts it, profit corrupts neutrality. The incentive will always shift towards gaming the system for financial gain. True neutrality just can't have a price tag. And that, of course, leads to the very next problem. Ownership corrupts access. If one company owns the foundation, they become the gatekeepers. They get to control who builds on it and who doesn't. A true commons has to be open to all, based on fair rules, not on who can pay the biggest fee.
Which brings us to the ultimate conclusion here. Control corrupts trust. See, as long as a single entity is in charge, you're not actually trusting the system, you're just trusting the controller. To build real, systemic, lasting trust, control itself has to be decentralized and bound by rules that cannot be broken.
And that is exactly why this system is designed to be an antidote to the corruption we see everywhere else. It's built to be the one layer that, as the source so perfectly puts it, cannot be bought because it was never for sale.
So, I want to leave you with this question. Just for a second, forget all the broken promises. Imagine a world where our economic and social systems are built on an actual foundation of verifiable truth. What becomes possible then? What incredible things could we coordinate? What massive problems could we solve if we could all finally trust the ledger?